Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Milky Nights movie review. This is our third one, and today we have a doozy. A very, very big doozy. I am Jared,
I am Ben.
And I'm Eric.
and today we are going to review a movie that has 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. It has
And
an
I know why.
8.2 out of 10 out of 10 on IMDb. It has an 88% on Metacritic. Uh, and it's supposed to be one of the best movies of all time. I think it is in the 200 most 200. I think it is in the top 250. And it is a little movie called Blade Runner, starring Harrison Ford and Sean Young. Ben, why don't you give us a description of the movie?
So basically, the
Because you
movie
knew
is
all about it.
about Harrison Ford. I don't remember his character hunting down these
Deckard.
replicas, which are basically man-made other men. They're not clones. They're genetically engineered robots. So they're completely flesh. They're just like genetically engineered. They're not cloned from somebody. So he's hunting down these replicants who basically have escaped and revolted and that sort of thing. That he's a Blade Runner. That's what basically it's called. That hunts down other replicants.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, this time I want to go first about talking about the movie. Okay? Because I have just a little bit of say and it's all in my mind right now. This movie went so many places. Started a gritty, just sci-fi movie that was just there to talk about aliens and stuff you didn't understand. And I was like, okay, man, this is gonna get really good, I feel like. This is gonna have a great ending and great story. And then it gets further and further, and he kills, I think he had to kill, what, 4 replicants? There was 4 or 5? I forget. 4.
Mm-hmm.
4. And so he kills 3 of them, and then the end battle comes along, and
Oh
we'll
my!
talk about that later. We'll have an entire thing about the end battle at last. But the movie ended. It was like a gritty sci-fi movie the entire time, and then out of nowhere, he
Spoilers, by
falls
the
in
way.
love with Rachel. Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, the
He
spoilers.
falls in love with Rachel, and oh my god, and she turns out to be a replicant, and then he turns out to be a replicant, and then they fall in love and ride off the sunset happily ever after. And this movie, it sucked. Okay,
Yeah.
Ben, why don't you say something about it?
Well, the reason why it's rated so highly because it's like the first real sci-fi movie to really develop a world like that. Most
Mm-hmm.
sci-fi movies didn't quite have a world as developed as Blade Runner. That's why it's rated so high. More because like the first movie that did this sort of thing, not necessarily because it was good, but as far as the actual movie and my interpretation of it, it was very. After I watched it like a day later, it was very thought provoking and interesting. But like while watching it, I was like, "What is going on? This is just weird." It was kind of hard to follow. It's one of those things that you start thinking about afterwards, and everything makes sense after like a few hours actually thinking about it. Restless night of
Yeah.
thinking
Yeah.
about it. That's what it was for me.
Okay, well, it turns out it's just gonna be me and you for this podcast, this movie review, Ben, because Eric had to go. So, okay,
Yeah.
so, um, I'm looking at the Rotten Tomatoes review real quick. It says, misunderstood when it first hit theaters, the influence of Ridley Scott's mysterious neo-noir Blade Runner has deepened with time, a visually remarkable human sci-fi masterpiece. So, okay, so why don't we talk about the ending a little bit? That end battle.
Jump straight into the end. So there
Yep.
was the end battle with the big Russian. Was he Russian? He looked Russian. Sounded
I
Russian, don't know.
forget.
But this guy, I don't know what he was. He. I don't even know how to describe it. This guy
Didn't
would
oh
howl at random times. He would somehow make birds magically appear. He would like bust his head through a wall, like here's Johnny style. And Harrison Ford crawled up through a ceiling and he followed him. The guy.
And then he starts to howl. Don't forget the howl.
The guy who I thought he was trying to kill Harrison Ford. He then rescued Harrison Ford. In the end, Harrison Ford's like, I don't know why he did that. We need to know. It's like there's no closure. He's like 1 second trying to kill you, the next second
remember,
he's like,
remember, he had a knife in his hand, and he was right next to Harrison Ford, like 3 times, right next to him. And yet he just like stabbed him in the leg or a little bit, cut him on the arm or something. He was right next to him.
And then he rescued him from falling.
Yeah.
Oh my.
You know what? Maybe like he knew that he didn't it turn out Harrison Ford was like a replicant too?
We don't know. It's like very possible. There's like many theories that show that he is like the unicorn, the what was it called? Origami unicorn that was left on his front step. He never had that test that, you know, shows whether you're a replicant or not.
Yeah.
He knew about the memories that were implanted in replicants. How would he know that? And it's like theorized that he is like a newer replicant. Replicants were trying to find a way to live past 4 years. Basically their failsafe was so they couldn't just run rampant, was they only had a 4-year lifespan. And if like the theories are correct, Harrison Ford was like a newer model who wasn't as strong. He was just like a normal human being, because most replicants had like super strength and stuff. He was just a normal human being, but he had, you know, also a normal lifespan like a normal human. So they're trying to. I'm guessing maybe that's why they went after him, because they saw that he's a replicant that is like older than 4 years. But it's not knowledge in the movie. It's just, you know, kind of hinted at.
Yeah. Okay, so what was your favorite part about the movie, Ben?
That end battle, that dove came out of nowhere. They was like, bloop, like, what the?
Yeah, that was good. That was good. My favorite part of the movie, I love the end battle, because it was so stupid. I laughed at it so hard. But, like, if I had to say, like, actual favorite part of the movie, it'd be Harrison Ford, because I love Harrison Ford, and he always does good in whatever role he's playing. He just does good. So, that's what I would say.
Yep.
All right, what would you give it 1 out of 10?
I'd say a 5.
5.
I feel like it deserves a little bit higher. I would personally say like a 3 or 4 for the story. I'm going with 5 because, you know, the points should be given to it because it's like the first of its kind. No.
Yeah. I would say 4 because the story today doesn't really hold up to me. And I mean, sure, it did good back then, and it like people were confused after they saw it and they liked it. But I don't know. Today, it just, with all the great sci-fi movies out that leave people hanging and you can actually understand them now, just, I don't know. It just doesn't appeal to me. But I do give it 4 because of the time that it was at.
Yeah.
I mean, it was 2 hours of my life that I'll never get back. So.
Well, we were watching it in preparation for Quantum Break, which was another crappy thing.
Yep, which we just talked about. Okay, so we will see you guys in the next video, and this is Jared signing off.
This is Ben jacking off. We will see you next time, Squires. You milky Squires.
Bye-bye.
Bye.